Alright, so this is my Bulma SS3 Scramble Arrival deck. Well, gameplay. So let's start playing the video. Showcase certain aspects of the deck. Alright, so let's see. Yeah, I go up against the Bojack deck. So let's see. Obviously, put the balls back in the deck. Skill this back in the deck because we got nothing for it. Put the Violent Rays away. I don't think he's going to go wide anytime soon, so don't need the Violent Rays. That was a bad play. Charging the Violent Rays, obviously. Every other card, well, it was only, actually it was the only card, technically. Actually, I should have charged the, what's it called, the one. I should be taking damage here. I shouldn't even be wasting, you know, no Nappas and stuff. I did get another Violent Rays, so that's good, you know, if I play it out right. But it's the fact that it's like, it would have been nice to keep that second Violent Rays. So I played that, going in for the crit. I can deal damage and not let my opponent plus. So he's going to do some play, but I'm still going to be able to deal the crit, so I still do the crit damage. So first blood. Alright, so, and you see I was able to combo, you know, to make it harder for him to out combo the attack, but not give up, you know, some hand advantage. Obviously you want to use Goku to search out the ball first, so here I'm going for, you know, KO on that thing, because we know that will be a problem if that stays on the field too long. So, like I said, we're using the ball for a couple of things. Obviously, for combo power, for discard fodder, for our Unison, our Lord Slug Unison, and our Violent Rays. That way we're not negging, because, you know, think about it, especially when we're on the front side with the leader. We draw a card, then we charge a card, then we trigger her effect to draw. Right, so that makes up for the fact that we charged the card as energy, but it didn't increase her hand size. When she's awakened, we increase her hand size. So that's the thing, right? So obviously you grab the 4-star balls first before you trigger her draw ability. So he does that. So got his little plays there. So if I'm right, I trigger that effect. Pitch the skillless, because the skillless I have no problem being in the drop, because I could always bring it back from the drop, so it's good discard fodder. Go into that play, do the arrival play, so that way I can clear his board. You know, try and maintain some board control plus establish board, and you know, have that on turn 3, so I might as well go aggro, right? Go in hard. So there's, I thought my Gogeta was 30k. It's like, no, it's 25. I forget, Gogeta's only at 20k. Yeah, I was gonna say is like I could have gone in with the Nappas since he's still not awakened. I could have went in on the Nappa because I do have Violent Rays, so it's not like I was vulnerable to the clapback, as they say. So I should have went in on see, because now he's tapping and stuff. So it's like, you know, he's weakening my defense right now, so obviously I could have just went in. So yeah, I'm losing stuff, so I could have just went in with the Nappas and try to get him down to 2 life, which is always preferred, right? Obviously I have the potential for another arrival play. I have the I don't yet have the ability to awaken, so, but I don't need that much energy. Right here I have Barrier Hate ability, and still have the Violent Ray play, so obviously trigger the effect to weaken his card. Then I swing, here I go for the rival play. Boom, boom. Now I did that just for the marker, because you notice I'm at 4 markers right now. So if he does like a counter play, I'll be able to burn him for 1, which will bring him down to 2. Remember, the goal is always to get our opponent down to 2 at least, because you know we have cards in our deck that can help us deal 2 damage. So the goal is to get our opponent down to 2, then play defense, and then burn our opponent for the last 2. There's no point in trying to you know, win through attacks. So you see I did that. Just gonna want to make sure I got rid of that, and then I'm going in. Now we all know it would have been nicer to keep the Gogetas, right? So he blocked that, and I end my turn. I have the Violent Rays, so it's not a problem going in hard trying to get my opponent down. Now what's important is that it sucks that he's not down to you know, I would say battle cards, that he's not down to you know, 2 life. That would make a huge difference if he was down to 2 life, because my goal is to try to use my Lord Slug to burn him for 1. So I don't charge, and I start doing all this stuff. So would have been nice if he was attacking my... Wait, did he attack my leader? It'd be funny he attacked my leader on a Violent Rays. I should have let him hit my leader, because again, I'm so defensive. So like when somebody attacks, I instinctively like, all right, stop you, right? Block, defend, right? So I'm going for this. I'm trying to either, clearly this won't go through. I'm trying to get him to actually waste his hand more than anything, or I got game. So either I got game or he wastes, because his hand is very thick compared to mine. I'm trying to shrink his hand. That way when he, you know, the clapback, right, comes back at me, starts attacking stuff, and starts dealing damage, hopefully I'll, you know, obviously be adding cards from my life to my hand from him attacking, and hopefully get another Violent Rays. You know, maybe some a rival play or something. Like something. So he is down to 2, but he should have technically been down to 1 if my last double strike at the last time panned out. So he's done that. Okay, we all know I could have got rid of his Bojack with my Goku in my hand. The thing is, you know, we're all expecting me to take damage and add, you know, hopefully like a Violent Rays for this type of setup, because I would like to be able to, you know, stop this. So then he starts doing all this stuff, and I was like, I was wondering why he's putting the cards back, and I didn't know why. So like I'm checking literally like what caused that to happen, because the Sin Shinron doesn't have that effect. So it's like, why they put the stuff back? None of these cards have that effect, and they point out that okay, this card, Space Pirate Vito, is the one with the effect. Like, ah, okay, now I know annoyance happened better. I was like, okay, didn't know that's what you did. So then my turn, charge. Because now the goal is to try to get to my see, you know, going for the board wipe. It was unfortunate that he didn't leave. It was like, no, I want him gone. He would have been nice to get rid of, and I could have done that by just paying 2. Here I'm trying to get my point down to 1, so that way at least I can get the, what is it called? That way, at least I won't need to do 1 damage. It's like if I could get him down to 1, which he would have been if things played out the way I wanted, he would have been down to 1, and it's like, so that's why I did that. Obviously, I could have kept him, you know, for defense because he is blocker, 15 blockers. So I could have defended with that. Plus, I could have played this for 2, so I would have had 2 blockers. So I had the potential of stopping 2 attacks. But of course, I'm at 7 life, so it's like, yeah, you know, I could take hits. And if I get a Violent Rays, then, you know, from my life, then I want to be able to use the energy for my, you know, for the Violent Rays. And this card could be discard fodder. So we talk about the fact that, you know, if he awakens, he can do this play he was just trying to do a play that required his leader to be awakened, but he's been avoiding awakening, which I thought was weird. It's like, this whole time you've been trying to do an awaken battle where we just fight on our front side. It's like, alright, to each their own. I mean, I'm not against you saving your final form. I definitely advocate for saving your final form. But then later on he shows me why he was saving his awaken, and it's like, okay, not really worth it, but okay. So now here I'm hoping I could try to do like at least an arrival play so I can get a blocker on board. So I'm hoping for like a Nappa. A Nappa would be nice right here, right? Get a Nappa and be able to do the arrival play and at least put up a board. I asked him if he EX evolve, because I noticed there's two ways to summon this thing. It's like one is EX evolve and one is you know, by comboing. So I wasn't too sure what he did. So see, right now I'm not getting no multicolors. Violent Rays would obviously be the better choice. I would rather have Violent Rays right now, and I'm getting non-Violent Ray cards. It's like there's no Violent Rays here, and the ability to untap 2 energy is pointing like still not getting any Violent Rays. So that's why I was pointing out that me charging Violent Rays early game was a bad idea, right? Because it's like I would have a Violent Rays right now. Since I'm not getting any, I would have had at least that one that I originally started the match with. So that was that. So here, yeah, I'm just showing that, hey, I could do 45k, but I can't, you know, I can't out combo your attack. So GG. But I got him down to 2, so that's important, because that's the goal. Get him down to 2 and then try to finish the game. Would have actually been down to 1 if, you know, things played out the way I wanted it. It happens. And then I checked my life. I'm like, yeah, I was not getting no Violent Rays. That one that I charged was the one I needed. So you charging that Violent Rays, turn 1 killed me. It definitely did. It's like, oh man, I got 4 in the deck, and I only was able to see 2 in the game, and the other 2 is still in the deck somewhere. Like crazy. Alright. To note, there was some other gameplays that I played and recorded, and they were really, you know, like good battles. You got to see a lot of really cool stuff that the deck can do, you know, defensively, offensively. But unfortunately, double checking. Okay, this is working. For some reason, my software messed up and it wouldn't. Let me skip through this. It didn't record. So I play those. You gotta understand, those matches last between 45 to 60 minutes, just for one game. Not best 2 out of 3, just one game, right? Best of 1. So that's a lot of time spent playing a match, and then turns out that it wasn't even recorded. Like the software froze and it wasn't recording the whole time, and it's like, so I've been trying to make it. That's why you saw me check to make sure that, you know, you see that it's counting, so that means it is recording. So okay, some personal stuff there. Still trying to change my name back to Card Games TV 1. I was experimenting, changing the name to see how many, you know, if I could change the name every week or something. Go back for a second. Alright, so we roll this thing 3rd. Because it's important to see Mulligan. See, I got this Shin Run Unison Rescue and the Skilless. So that's a reusable 20k blocker I can use, which is very important, right? Because at least I can block the leader string with that all day, every day, right? Because the leader, you know, starts off 5k, so that's not good. That already is giving my opponent's leader an advantage against my leader, and then when I awaken and my opponent awakens, still, you know, they still got the advantage. They still can hit my leader even without comboing, which does become a problem from time to time, which is why I'm always trying to come up with infinite defense, basically infinite ability to either negate or block. So that's why I make so many different variants of Bulma, because I'm always trying to find new ways to last longer. That's what she said. Let's see where. Alright, so I put that fireball, which is a win con, but I already got my main win con. And of course, this match, the whole goal is for me to try to do the arrival play. So get my opponent down to 2 and then drop the scramble and go for game. Actually, that's all the gameplay is trying to do that, because that's like the main thing. You know, the reason why I built the deck was to be able to play that SCR. Oh, by the way, yeah, this is an IRL deck, so like I actually have this, and part of why I played this, because it's like, you know, this was a deck, the deck I would have taken to the 1K tournament we had today. Cause say, well, today's Sunday in the morning, but yesterday there was the 1K event, which I would like to have gone to, and this is the deck I would have been playing, so you at least get to see what I was planning to play. I did modify the deck a little bit. I switched up like 2 cards, so there will be another deck profile of the new version, as well as some gameplay later on. Right now, this is just because the last battle I did yesterday, this battle and the first battle was done, you know, Friday. On Friday night, because I was you know, right? Yeah, Friday night. Right? Yeah, Friday night. Cause I work overnight, so that's why it says on the bottom 5/1, because that's Saturday in the morning. So 12:39 a.m. in the morning, Saturday morning. Obviously, I was playing because I work from 11 at night to 7 in the morning now. I always work overnight, but my schedule changed from 7 to 11 instead of 10 to 6. And normally I work Monday to Thursday. Now I work Monday to Friday. So yeah, that's ruining my Saturdays, because now I'm working into Saturday morning. And once I get home, I just bedtime. So I'm doing the Barrier Hate right here, and you see I got the little engine. Now I'm using it aggroly, but obviously you can, you know, the best thing to do to use it defensively. Now I'm awakened. This was when I was like, okay, because before I was being more defensive, which is why I had a lot of life for a long time. I was like, no, I need to take 4 damage. I need to let my opponent deal me damage, save my defense for later, you know, because the idea is to stall, obviously, until you know, turn 6 and stuff like that, and do some bigger plays. You know, I got a 2 damage combo. But since I awakened the leader, I no longer have access to that turn 8 2 damage combo. Now I have to try to do a turn 6 combo, where turn 5 I play, because I literally got 3 win cons in my hand. I just gotta pull them off, because I got 3 cards in my hands that could burn. I got one that could do 1 to 2 damage, which is the King Piccolo. I got the 1 damage potential from Lord Slug, and I got the 2 damage from my Super Saiyan 3 Scramble SCR. So right here, I'm trying to get my opponent down to 2 hard, but he outplayed that, and I was able to survive. Not going down to 2, of course. Remember, my goal is I'm trying to get my opponent down to 2. So right now I'm tapped out, I'm defenseless, as it were. I'm at 4. Not good to be defenseless right now, right? And be at 4, because if I had at least 1 energy up, I would be able to Videl, but I wanted to go in on that, you know, double strike play. I was like, you know what? I really want to get my opponent down to 2, and I'll try to survive through comboing and, you know, strategic. You know, being, you know, strategic, right? So through some creative comboing, and maybe a Nappa, at least a Nappa, just 1 Nappa, that's all I asked for, I could potentially survive that turn. So that's what I'm counting on. Typically, pro tip, right, is keep 1 energy up. Obviously for Violent Rays, for Videl, Obviously, you know, try to keep it defensive. There's the violent rays, but no freaking energy, right? It's like the deck's giving me what I need. I just didn't leave the one energy up because I really felt like I had to play that little Goku to get that extra Dragon Ball. Like I felt I needed. Now I'm down to 1. We all know I have the ability to survive this turn if I just had the 1 energy up. And GG. So of course, like I said, keep 1 energy up. So this is the last match now, the 3rd and last match. So here we go. Did I get my opponent down to 2? No, I think I failed at that, right? Yeah. And then he got me. Yeah, no, I failed. I failed to get him down to 2. Oh no, he ruined my streak. All right, let's move this forward. All right, so I'm going against Sin Shinron. You're gonna see some good stuff here. You know, Sin Shinron is you know pretty meta, right? So you'll get to see some useful tactics. All right, so I'm putting away some not so necessary cards. Turn 1, you want to charge a multicolor. Especially you see I have Nappa, so I can be defensive. But remember, our goal is not to defend. I'm so defensive, but don't defend. You want to take the 4 damage because you want to awaken, because you want to draw 2 every turn, so your hand can stay thick. Because you run out of gas if you don't, right? Common sense. So I was of course experimenting with different ideas. Typically Bulma, I tend to keep her at 8 life for a long time in like a lot of my other builds, so I was playing this the same way, like yeah, defend, and it's like no, that's not really helping. I need to awaken. The way this deck is designed, I need to awaken. So I'm not typically a fan of allowing my opponent to hit me left and right, but I have to. Now here is interesting because of the fact that he's able to go off on turn 2 and do a pretty good amount of damage. So this was cool. We all know I could have Nappa the leader swing, though I could get Nappa on the field. So my hand's pretty thick, and he's like, what a hand. So he was very concerned with how thick my hand was. So now I'm doing that, tap that, play that. So now I'm 20k double strike because I so bang. See, I was going to awaken, but I was like, no, I gotta tap out the 2 energy first, then awaken, so I got 2 energy again. Gotta keep that up. Alright, so I'm like here, let me get another ball. Before I use the leader ability, let me grab another ball. Shuffle, right? And then use the leader ability and then draw 2, right? Because I don't have my SCR yet, and the goal is to try to get to it, right? So thin out the deck thin out the balls on the deck, and then grab then draw. So he negates the attack, get from him, and then I go in. Because he has Hey Shenron, I'm like, yeah, there's no need for me to hold back. To keep the Goku in attack, in active mode. So here I'm going aggro right here. I'm like, I do have Violent Rays in my hand, so I feel very confident. So I'm going aggro. So I'm trying to deal as much damage as I can, or at least force him to reduce his hand size so that I can win in the hand advantage situation. So making him use his hands. So I got him down to 4, and it's only been turn 2, so that's good. Turn 2, he's down to 4. We all know I just need to do him 2 more damage and then finish him off with burn. So can I do it? He attacks, I violent raise. Battle cards, and this should. So he grabs that. So his haze can't attack, so now I don't have to worry about him attacking with haze, but he does have that, so he locks me down, so now I can't use that. He's attacking with that. This is wrong. I saved it. The unison I shouldn't. Especially I just lost my fireball, and that's a win con right there, so that's very bad that I lost my King Piccolo there. And we already have one in energy, so that means I only have one left somewhere in the deck, because I only played 3 of each of the unisons. So I should have let the unison die because I didn't need it anymore. Like, I'm already doing pretty good, especially with the fact that my lead is awakened. So my hand's pretty thick. I got a lot of defense, a lot of stuff I could do. So I don't need the I didn't need to protect the unison. Consider the fact that eventually I would play another unison anyway. So it's like I should have let it just die, because that's that right there. I can, you could just count it as a blocker, because one of the reasons to use them is to help you kind of self-awaken, but I'm already awakened, so I shouldn't have allowed myself to take any extra damage. Especially I shouldn't have not taken any damage that didn't plus me, right? That didn't benefit me. That was a crit, so that was a waste of life just to protect something I didn't really need. So that was a thing. So I'm here using my blockers to put in some work. Boom, boom, boop, boop, boop. Gotta get rid of that blocker. Blocker. So I go in. Remember, the goal is to get your opponent down to 2, so I keep trying to. Keep trying to. You could always wait, a turn or 2, just to see what your opponent does on the, on the clapback type scenario. Like, see what your opponent is going to do, and then react to that, and then, make decisions based off of that. I'm just in too much in a hurry to do damage every turn. I mean, I do have the violent raise, so it makes sense that I don't feel less. I don't feel like less safe, I don't feel like being patient because I have the violent raise. So just taking advantage of as many attacks as I can, especially considering the fact that I started losing. My board is now getting smaller, so, and notice my opponent's hand's getting thicker, so that's a thing. So here is like, oh dang, he didn't play the 9-drop, which would stop me from playing my 4-drop. But which has triple strike capabilities, but his hand's thick now, right? Remember, his hand was smaller earlier, now it's bigger. Granted, I have alliance, so I can make myself 50k plus. Yeah, I even got Napa, so 50. So I could have, like, 50, 60, I could have got to 60k. The thing is that he had a blocker, so that would have been a bad play. So then that's why I did the Gogeta play. Then now that negates it, like, oh man, this would have been nice if this double strike went through, right? So then I play this, do its ability. No, I don't do its ability because I just take advantage of being able to try to do some damage, and then he does that. He combos and he KOs my Gogeta. But it's like, yeah, not a big deal because Gogeta already tried to do something, but my opponent negated, so that's all that matters. but at least I still have 1 energy up for Videl or Violent Rays or something, or at least a 10k combo or an arrival play, obviously. So always want to try to keep 1 energy up, especially if you already awaken your leader. Definitely want to keep 1 energy up, so keep that in mind. Then we got tap down, pop, 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 pop. Taps down my energy. Swings. He double strikes it, pumps it up, and it's like, alright, you got it. Alright. Okay. That's it. I just felt tired of, like, okay, it's gonna take a while to you know, obviously the rival play is just there to do it when you can. It's not the main win con. There's many other ways of dealing damage in the deck, so obviously utilize the other methods. But it would have been nice to get gameplay where I actually, you know, did play it out, did play the card. There was always a thing that I originally wanted to do with the deck to help get the card sooner than later, which was to play the 1-drop not Dark Broly, 1-drop Broly, set 1 1-drop Broly, because, you know, I do have red-green in the deck, so it wouldn't be that hard to charge at least 1 red-green for him. And then he lets you look at the top 7 cards of your deck and add a Broly card to your hand. And SS3 Scramble is a Broly. It's a Broly, it's a Vegeta, and it's a Raditz. So any card that can search out those 3 battle cards can search out that SCR. So the Broly, the 1-drop Broly, can search out that SCR. So that was something I was experimenting with before, but then I scrapped it. So it's like, I just focus on thinning out the deck and drawing, so that way I can get it. And there was, you know, obviously you've seen a couple times that I did get it, and there was a couple other matches that there was a match where it got milled. So I had 2 duels that I thought I was recording, but it turns out that the freaking software froze, so I wasn't able to get the plays, and so that's 2 hours of my life wasted on not having that footage. One of the gameplays, somebody I was playing against had a random mill, like their deck wasn't about milling, but this one moment they played something, and that thing they played just so happened to have an ability to mill. So it's like, mill a card from the top of my deck. So it's like, alright, mill a card, and it just so happened to be my SCR. I'm like, damn, this whole time I've been trying to get to my SCR, and I kept misplaying my Goku, my 1-drop Goku, because I kept drawing with my leader first, then trying to go grab the ball with Goku. It's like, no, I'm supposed to grab the ball first, shuffle the deck, then use the leader to draw, and hopefully draw the SCR. So the idea is to try to shuffle, thin out the deck, shuffle, right? So because remember, you only have 1 of the SCRs, so the idea is to try to get it closer to the top of the deck, right? And draw it. If it's in the deck. If it's in your life, then that's a different story, right? But if it's in your deck, you want to thin out your deck and draw, right? Thin out your deck and draw, so that way you have a higher chance of drawing it. Once you draw it, then of course you can, do stuff with it. Now, since I want to do drawing, that's where the next version of the deck has the King Piccolo, because one, it gives me the floodgate ability of King Piccolo, plus it gives me the board wipe, which is very useful in Bulma deck. Definitely gotta have board wipe, right? And then there's the draw. The fact that the Unison will let me draw, Bulma will let me draw, plus the Unison is 15k, so it essentially replaces my leader in a way. It essentially makes my leader a support to the Unison instead of the Unison support to the leader, right? Because essentially I'm replacing it. But I have a 15k that I can draw with every turn. That way I can, 1, apply pressure with having a reusable 15k, aka a sword. So a 15k sword, while she's helping turn all my other cards into, shields, right? So I can have the sword and shield strategy going through, and then a different I just added another burn card, which is the 6-drop Gohan, because I either hard cast him for 6 if my hand's thick, but if my hand's low on cards, I can play him for 2, and then there's like combos I can do playing him with the leader's untap ability, where I can drastically weaken a battle card through what's his name? Oh well, you'll see all that stuff later on in the deck profile and the gameplays I do of that deck, that version of the deck. So I just wanted to add some more burn to it, you know. So and since I do have the card, so that's another IRL deck. So I do have the Unison, so it's like I want to put the Unisons to work, you know. Since I got the Piccolo Junior Unison, so I was like, I want that, and I got the Miraculous Gohan. So since I have those 2 cards, I'm like, all right, well, let me put them in the Bulma deck and, you know, take out the skillless, you know, little blocker engine out and put these 2 cards in, because they're good by themselves. You know, one is a draw engine plus board wipe, and the other one is a win con. So, you know, right, much better to try that out. So, well, might as well, since I'm talking about it, you can get a preview right quick. This is what I'm talking about. So I got this Gohan, and I got the King, the Piccolo Jr. in the deck, and so the Shenron was taken out, and the Trunks skillless was taken out, and everything else is pretty much the same as the deck profile, the deck you just saw being played. So very few change, a very small change, but it drastically increases the deck's capabilities. You know, draw power, plus damage output, you know, plus winning con, right? So we'll see what we do with it in future videos. That's the end of the video.